Enough! Edric's shout cut through the air. Silence fell instantly. Leora trembled, tears gathering in her eyes, and looked up at me. Fragile. Pleading. The meaning was obvious. She had ruined my engagement. She believed I was furious, helpless, humiliated. If I did not speak, she would never stop. Good. Then let her continue. I lowered my gaze and took another sip of tea. Leora clenched her jaw and bowed again. Edric strode forward. Smash. He struck the teacup from my hand. Selene Vale, don't push this too far. Is this the dignity expected of the eldest daughter of House Vale? His glare sent servants dropping to their knees. He pulled Leora up and brushed her bleeding forehead with care. Apologize, Selene. Apologize now, and I will pretend none of this ever happened. I nearly laughed. How naive I had been in my last life. After discovering Leora's deception, I had written to Edric that very night, telling him everything I saw, urging him to be cautious. The next day, Leora died. Truly died. Rumors spread that she could not endure being kept at court and leapt to her death in shame. Edric wrote back, "Fortunately, you warned me. Deceivers deserve execution." And the matter ended. For years, I believed he had played along, used her scheme against her. After all, he claimed to despise deceit above all else. Only at the moment of my death did I understand. When he said deceiver, he meant me. Selene Vale, have you lost your mind? He snapped. Leora did nothing wrong. I was the one who wished to break the engagement. Apologize to her. As for her injury, I won't hold it against you. I looked at him and felt my mouth twitch. So blind. I had truly believed him wise. Hannah, I said calmly. His Majesty is in the front hall, isn't he? She nodded. I gathered my skirts and walked forward. Edric followed immediately. What do you think you're doing? My father is traveling discreetly this time, he warned. No court women were summoned. Of course I knew. My birthday banquet was hardly reason enough for the Emperor to attend in person. So why was he here? Because my brothers were winning victories on the frontier. Because my father had just quelled a flood, earning the people's praise. Because House Vale, for a century, had supplied half the Empire's pillars. And yet the heir had knelt for 3 days and nights to sever ties with us. The Emperor feared cooling the loyalty of my family. Even as the Chamberlain announced my arrival, Edric continued behind me. Selene Vale, if you dare use your birthday to demand what does not belong to you, I have already promised Leora lawful marriage, he said harshly. I will not go back on my word. If you insist on standing beside me, he paused, then you will have to accept a place beneath her. I turned back and looked at him. As he said, he was born the heir. His life had been too smooth. He had never understood what that position truly meant, or who gave it weight. Something in my gaze must have unsettled him. At that moment, the Emperor spoke from his seat. Selene Vale, you wished to see me. For what purpose? The hall was full. I knelt. Your Majesty, today is my birthday. May I ask for one request? The heir and Miss Leora shared deep affection. I envy such devotion. I fear standing in the way of their lifelong bond. Therefore I ask, please annul my betrothal to His Highness and grant your blessing to their union. I bowed deeply. The hall fell silent. By evening, the capital was in uproar. The marriage between the royal court and House Vale was said to be collapsing. The heir's insistence on marrying his savior had already stirred controversy. But today, the dignified eldest daughter of House Vale had publicly renounced the engagement on her own birthday, before the Emperor and all ministers. Witnesses claimed the heir's expression was unforgettable. The Emperor reportedly shouted, "Insolence!" and hurled a teacup at him. Madness! I, still kneeling, was struck as well. Who gave you permission to act so recklessly? My father's beard bristled with fury. Break the engagement? Marriage is decided by family and crown. Since when does a daughter interfere? You even dared bring this before His Majesty. I kept my back straight, did not blink. This engagement was decreed by the late emperor. You think you can undo it at will? Go and explain yourself properly. Say this was a moment of foolish impulse. I won't, I said flatly. You won't? Then what do you intend to do? Break the engagement. Break it? My father roared. Do you think anyone in this capital will dare marry you afterward? I shrugged. That's not necessarily true. You! My father pointed at me, trembling with fury. I think you've lost your mind. He stormed out, sleeves snapping in the air. He wasn't wrong. I had. If not for everything I lived through in my last life, I would never have been capable of this. I was raised to be proper, measured, invisible when necessary. The Selene Vale of the past would never have appeared before so many guests, would never have asked for an annulment herself. But propriety does not lead to survival. House Vale had lasted 100 years because we knew when to advance and when to withdraw. When the court needed us, we stepped forward without hesitation. When the empire was stable, we stepped aside just as quickly. Absolute loyalty had earned us absolute trust from every ruler before. My father, my brothers, my uncles, they all obeyed this rule without question. So in my last life, the moment Edric hinted, they surrendered power, resigned posts, and retreated. And Edric struck when they were unguarded. That was when I learned absolute loyalty to royalty is not virtue. It is foolishness. My lady, Hannah asked softly, wrapping my knees as she spoke. What did His Highness say? She couldn't read. She leaned closer, anxious, staring at the letter in my hand. In the past, Edric's letters were endless. Confessions, promises, tenderness. This one held only 3 words. Know your place. I smiled faintly. My lady, Hannah panicked. If His Highness apologizes, perhaps you could. I interrupted her. Besides the letter, was anything else delivered today? She froze. Yes, there was. She rummaged through the chest and pulled out a piece of white jade, eyes lighting up. Today is your birthday. Could this be from His Highness as well? My gaze sharpened. I rose and reached for my cloak. My lady? It's late, where are you going? Wait for me. Hannah, stay. I closed the door behind me. The Selene Vale of days ago was gone. That obedient girl died with her first life. What remained was someone willing to break rules. The man before me was thin, pale. He looked nothing like I remembered. We studied each other. His dark eyes were light, unfocused, as if nothing in the world concerned him. Miss Vale, he said at last, your reputation precedes you. Elegant, composed. His voice sounded like scattered beads. I smiled. And the first prince is as rumored. Steady and unyielding. He returned the smile, barely there. Polite words, mutual understanding. The fruit you sent the other day, he said, nudging the plate forward. It's ripe. I raised the white jade in my hand. And your gift was received. I reached for the fruit. He reached for the jade. I looked up at him and smiled. His name was Lucien, the Emperor's firstborn son, Edric's older brother. My father was right. The engagement decreed by the late Emperor could not be annulled lightly. But I knew even better. This marriage had to end. The night I was reborn, I searched my memories until I found him. High birth, high standing, and most importantly, he died young. By strict law, he should have been the rightful heir. The crown and my engagement should have been his. But his mother was frail and died giving birth to him. He himself was sickly. Before his first birthday, the court seer declared he would not live past 18. The throne was never meant for him. In my last life, he survived past 18, but only by 6 years. Yet he was ambitious. He never married, had no children. When he died, the wealth left in his estate exceeded half the imperial treasury. I couldn't help wondering if he had lived longer. If his body had not betrayed him, what kind of empire would he have ruled? What is this supposed to mean? Lucien's dark eyes fixed on me. House Vale despises hypocrisy, I said calmly. Before an alliance, show me what you can do. He laughed. This time, truly laughed. Color returned to his pale face. He raised his cup and took a slow sip. Private dealings like this would have horrified the Selene Vale of the past. But I needed an ally. And not just any ally, a capable one.